Today is the fourth and final, for now, message in this series on using our divinely inspired power of imagination. Today I want to focus on speech, how our words can heal and bless. And of course, the foundation for that teaching is that everything in this world, in this life, is an emanation of divine consciousness. I'm going to begin with a quote from the Varaha Upanishad. Listen carefully. The whole universe is brought into being through the transformations of consciousness alone. It is only through the transformation of consciousness that the universe becomes manifest. All that is conscious in the universe is actually a reflection of absolute consciousness. This universe is absolute consciousness only. You are consciousness. I am consciousness. Meditate on the world as consciousness. For Kriya Yogis, those who practice and the spiritual path of Kriya Yoga, great emphasis is placed on meditation. Meditation as a daily practice, of course, is the consummate tool for clarifying the mental field so that we can live a spiritually conscious, healthy, happy, balanced life. Meditation is essential for purifying, quieting the mind. But meditation proficiency in and of itself is not the thing. It's not the goal. It's not the end goal. The goal is self and God realization and the ultimate freedom that accompanies that awakening. That freedom allows us to skillfully participate in the world, to take our place, to align our will with divine will, to cooperate with the infinite, and participate in the evolutionary unfolding of consciousness in our world. We purify the mind, we clarify our thoughts, we open our heart to the infinite, to deeper knowing, and then we must actualize that knowledge and bring it forth. As Sri Yukteswar, the guru of Paramahansa Yogananda, said, self-realization is not selfish realization. We're here to bring that piece of the soul into the world. In a sense, we are the connection between heaven and earth. We're here to make that connection. I came across a beautiful passage by a Quaker teacher and writer, Howard Brinton, and I want to share that with you, the way this is necessary for us to bring the piece of the soul into the world. So Howard Brinton wrote, "The Quaker way is so to order the inner life that outer pressures can be adequately met and dealt with. The Quaker way is so to order the inner life that outer pressures can be adequately met and dealt with. This is not the method of the ascetic who conquers his sensual desires by violence toward himself, nor of the hermit who avoids his fellow men, nor of the stoic who makes himself independent and indifferent to the world around him. It is rather an ordering of the inner life so that there will be a proper balance of inner and outer, inner holding first place. In one sense, we become independent of outer tumults and conflicts, but in another sense, we are not independent because we must seek to reproduce in the world around us the inner peace created within ourselves." And then this is great. He says, If we do not seek to reproduce our inner peace, it will become lifeless and static. So ordering of our inner life is accomplished through our prayer and our meditation and our spiritual disciplines that quiet the restless mind and allow us to be receptive to divine guidance and vision. Divine sight, or think of the word insight, arises in the peace-pervaded mental field through our divinely inspired faculty of imagination. We can see what cannot be seen with our physical eyes. We perceive that which is beyond sensory ability, but is intuitively known by the heart. And that is the skill of a visionary. And, you know, when I'm putting my thoughts together for a talk, I often like to look up words to just see, well, how is it in our English lexicon that these words are thought of? So I looked up the word visionary, and what I saw was, oh, no wonder there's a tug of war that goes on between spirit and matter, between heaven and earth, between head and heart, sensory perception and imagination. All you have to do is look up the word visionary. So I looked it up in my online dictionary. The first meanings of the word visionary are this list: unrealistic, impractical, quixotic, fanciful, unworkable, or idealistic. This is what my father had in mind with me as a young girl when he would say to me, one day you're going to find out about the real world. And he didn't know that I would, but that the real world that I would find out about was not the difficult real world that he was grappling with. But the second definitions, second meanings that are given for the word visionary are far-sighted, imaginative, creative, inventive, or prophetic. What a difference, right? It's no wonder that we have a little bit of trouble developing our visionary capacity, and we tend to give it short shrift. In today's world, being a visionary, I think, seems like something you might go to a weekend workshop, you know, to journal about, but not so much about how we're taught to live. Yet, being a visionary is the way to live, and it is the way to live fully to our full divine capacity as rishis, as seers, as sages. As a visionary, it means that we are able to see beyond circumstances to solutions. Where there's brokenness, we can see wholeness. Where doors seem closed, we can see openings and possibilities. And we may not see them in the moment, but as a visionary, we know they're there. Why? Because we can see with the eyes of the heart God's omnipresent power and grace and reality. So that gives us the seeing power, the divine visionary seeing power to see through obstacles. Because we know where a door is closed, one is going to open. We know that as a visionary. So it's a way for us to live and to live fully, to see God's omnipresence with the divine sight, divine insight. My guru, Roy Eugene Davis, of course, told us many stories about Paramahansa Yogananda and how he, of course, was a rishi, a sage, a visionary. And one story in particular he told about walking in the desert with his teacher, with Yoganandaji. And Yogananda pointed out a mountain to him in the distance. And he said, Yogananda said, when most people look at a mountain, all they see is earth. They see dirt and stones. He said, but when I look at the mountain, I see God. So what I want to say about that little story that's also important for us to realize is that he saw it, but he not only saw it, he said it. He said it. He witnessed it. And he lived it. He lived his visionary capacity. He didn't keep it to himself, because you remember that beautiful Quaker reading, that's not the way that the inner peace of God is lived and stays fresh like a flowing stream. It stays fresh like a flowing stream when we know it, we live it, we speak it, we allow it to be expressed. And that's what he did. He actualized that vision of seeing and knowing the reality of God as the way that he lived his life of service, telling anybody who wanted to listen to him about the omnipresence of God. And not only that, teaching them how to know it, how to find it, how to experience it for themselves. He spoke up. He lived up about it. And we all have that capacity. We really all have that calling, each in our own way, to be that living word of God. It just has to be noticed and nurtured, realized, and then actualized. Now, I want to say that this power of manifesting our creative imagination, this ability to see, rests on the cosmic power of the Word, capital W, Word, the creative energy of consciousness that is manifesting as the world. So our power to manifest rests upon the cosmic Word itself, the creative energy of consciousness that is manifesting as all that is. That divine power within us starts as inspiration, as thought. Then it moves into speech. You can think of speech as being the middleman between the subtle vibration of thought and the appearance of something. In the ways of the ancient rishis, we would say this divine power is like a chariot that rides from the heavens and traverses the earth, and our truthful words light up life as they travel. They light up the earth as they travel, like a chariot traveling from heaven to earth, healing a broken world. Now, it's not just sometimes, but we are all the time speaking our vision of life into being. All the time. We are speaking our vision of life. Our consciousness is being made manifest through the words of our mouth and the meditations of our heart. It's being made manifest. So, it's a really good practice for us to say, what am I saying? Not only what was I thinking, but what am I saying? Are my words imbued with realization? Are they anchored in the soul's peace? Are they coming from the soul's truth? Are they in alignment with Rita, the harmony of the universe? Do they speak to that? What am I saying? Where is it coming from? Yogananda wrote, man's word is spirit in man. Spoken words are sounds occasioned by the vibrations of thoughts. Thoughts are vibrations sent forth either by the ego or by the soul. Every word you utter should be potent with soul vibration. Words saturated with sincerity, conviction, faith, and intuition are like highly explosive vibration bombs, which, when set off, shatter the rocks of difficulties and create the change that is desired. So he described the power of the word coming from the soul. So we want to see what is true with the mind's eye, with the eye of the heart, the deeper self, and envision the highest possibility, think clearly, and speak words that are in harmony with the infinite, that are imbued with divine power to bring forth that vision that we know is the highest truth. This is our formula for healing and for blessing. This is the way to live and share a blessed life. When our ministers put on their vestments, when they're going to teach or participate in a prayer service, we sing a chant, a version of a chant from the Aitareya Upanishad, which is connected to the Rig Veda. And I thought it would be such a beautiful prayer to offer this morning as I conclude this series of messages and share it with you now. I usually sing it. I think some of the ministers say it, but I sing it because I can just feel it then. So I thought I would sing it for you, and then I'll offer another version of it. May my speech be one with my mind, and may my mind be one with my speech. O thou self-luminous Brahman, remove the veil of ignorance from before me, that I may behold thy light. May I behold thy light. Do thou reveal to me the spirit of the Scriptures. May the truth of the Scriptures be ever present to me. May I seek day and night to realize what I learned from the sages. May I speak the truth of Brahman. May it protect me. May it protect my teacher. May it protect all beings. Om Tat Sat. May my speech be one with my mind, and may my mind be one with my speech. Commenting on this prayer, author and scholar William Mahoney wrote, for Vedic seers, Rita, this harmonious power in the universe, for Vedic seers, Rita was to be discerned and uttered forth like the wide splendors of the dawns reveal sparkling treasures covered in darkness. So here's his translation of the prayer that reads a little more like affirmation. It's also good. My word is firmly established in my mind. Can't you hear that affirmation? My word is firmly established in my mind, and my mind is firmly established in my word. Wouldn't that be great if we did that before opening our mouths? Right? My word is firmly established in my mind, and my mind is firmly established in my word. O manifest one, be manifest to me. Be for me the foundation of sacred, visionary knowledge. Do not let my sacred learning desert me. Thus, meditating on what has been studied, I join nights and days. I will speak of Rita. I will speak of the true. May that protect me. May it protect the speaker. May that protect the speaker. Om peace, peace, peace. Om.